And in fact, September 2025, my revenue is up 130% on September 2024. 130% I increased my revenue by in September this year on last year. So if I take that into account when planning my Black Friday revenue, I need to buy more inventory. That's a blind spot for me. It's blind spots around planning for Black Friday, Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's sale, whatever sale you're thinking of doing this year. If you're not planning on doing one, let me share with you quickly at the start before I jump back into the list I was going through of why you should be. So this episode is maybe the blind spots you might have as a business owner around planning for a sale of some description. And this episode is especially apt if you are working full time. It made me also think then, what are some blind spots we all have? And especially if you're working full time, this is my full time gig now. I side hustled for 3 years. What are some blind spots that we have around planning for sales and things that are upcoming that feel so far away because we're busy in the day to day of living our life and working full time and caring for our families? This episode is about some of those blind spots. I really want to give you a list of different things you may want to grab onto one of them. People are looking to shop. That is fundamentally the main reason. You're probably saving for Christmas. I know where my Christmas spending money is coming from. Most people plan to spend a significant amount of money across Q4 in some capacity. By not having a sale of some description, you are actually just missing out on the dollars people are prepared to spend anyway. People will go and find a brand that is on sale. I plan to, and most of your customers will do so. Yes, of course, you'll have a small handful of customers potentially that will always be loyal to you, will buy from you anyway, even if you're full price. But Q4 is the chance to really bump up your revenue by a significant portion. I shared in last week's episode, Black Friday in 2024 was my first ever 10K month. And for some of you, that might be a lot of revenue. For me, it was massive, but for some of you, it'd be very small. It's all personal. This is all our personal journey. Hey, so for me, my $13,000 November in 2024 was the largest revenue month I'd ever had. And it was because of Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales. That's how come it happened. And I expect this year, based on my modeling and my predictions around inventory, how the last few months have been. If you haven't listened to an episode recently, I've doubled my revenue in the last 3 months on last year. And in fact, September 2025, my revenue is up 130% on September 2024. 130% I increased my revenue by in September this year on last year. So if I take that into account when planning my Black Friday revenue, I need to buy more inventory. That's a blind spot for me, is I definitely need to buy more inventory and make sure it gets here in time. That's on my list of things to do today for sure. Everyone is looking for value, a bargain, an excuse to spend their money on a gift for somebody, and they want to get it for a good price. Let me jump back to the list I was in the middle of before I said goodbye on the last episode. Is this one of the blind spots you might be experiencing because you're doing your small business as a side hustle around everything else you have to do in life? Let me have a look. Sorry, now I've just blabbed on with my intro and I've got to look at my list. Trying to do everything. Oh my goodness, this is the last couple of points I've got to share with you today. Trying to do everything. This is about sort of protecting your energy. Focus on what works. Don't try and do everything. Last week I said, if you are looking to lean on your organic social media channels in the last week, in the week prior to Black Friday to save this for you, it's not going to work. Don't even bother, and instead set up an ad campaign in Meta and run a viewed content ad with a brand video. Reach out to me, let me help you with that. That's what I do. Reach out to me, let me help you through that for the next month or so in the lead up to Black Friday. Don't try and do everything. Just pick something that you know has worked for you before and you can lean into harder. One of my clients who I'm supporting at the moment is very active in Facebook groups and it works really well for him. Do more of that. If you are on TikTok a lot, do more of that. If you like to do a lot of emails and collecting emails and building your email list, do more of that. If you lean on ads a lot because you don't have the energy or the skills or the time to do a lot of organic social media, so you'd like to create a few pieces of content and run them as ads, and you don't do, much on your organic social media usually, then do more ads. Decide to go cost neutral. Decide to not make a profit for the whole of October in the hopes of collecting lots of leads and new customers and new email addresses that you can then leverage to shop through a sale period. I know one brand who's running at a loss for October deliberately to then re-engage and get those people to come back in November during a massive sale period. So do what works for you, but don't try and do everything. Protect your energy and lean into something that you know works for you in getting new customers or new leads. And when I say leads, I obviously mean email addresses. We're product businesses. Most of the people who listen to this, I know I have a couple of service clients who I support with their service business, but predominantly it's clients who are building an e-commerce, as I'm building an e-commerce. Then if you're building an e-commerce, lean into something that has worked for you before and leverage that over the next 8 weeks rather than trying to do everything. Don't come away from this episode with, right, Rachel's told me to do email, ads, organic social media, SEO, blog posts, update all my product pages, fix my website, redesign it, put a new theme on. No, none of that. I don't want you to do any of that. I want you to pick something that's worked for you, that you know works for you, and go harder on that. Protect your energy if you are working this in the small hours that you have around life, and do that for the next period of time. Ideally towards leaning on an email list, because you'll find the cheapest conversions through an email list across Black Friday, but also keeping in mind last week's episode that only works if you're going to nurture these people as well. So don't collect 1,000 emails through October, but don't reach out to or don't contact any of them at all through October or November, because then when you do reach out to them for a sale, it's going to go to their spam folder. And then that feels like a giant waste of money in collecting those email addresses. So there's pros and cons to all of these. I just encourage you to pick what makes the most sense for you. The next one is not planning your stock far enough out. Oh, this is me. And I said this in the last episode as well. So it's absolutely me. If you haven't yet ever pulled from Shopify your ABC product analysis report, please do so. It's under reports, analytics, I think it is, and reports on your left-hand menu. It's called the ABC Product Analysis Report. It tells you your best performing SKUs and it gives it a score. It's either an A product, a B product, or a C product. This might be a really quick way for you to build a bit of demand planning. In other words, looking ahead at what stock you will need to have and looking at what are your best sellers or your best performing, your highest sell-through products now, in the last 90 days, in the last 365 days, and make sure you have enough of those things to see you through a sale period. That's one thing you can do if you haven't yet thought much about inventory or you haven't looked into what inventory you probably need, is go and look in Shopify at that report, pull it and see how it relates to your brand and your products and do some planning ahead for that. The next one is overcomplicating the offer. This happens a lot. I see this a lot. And maybe you've seen this a lot, experienced it as a consumer when you're shopping. When you're creating your offer for Black Friday, please put your consumer hat on and take your business hat off and think about what is compelling for you as a customer and not what you want to get across as a business owner. For example, here's an example of I'll say terrible, that's really harsh, but I'll say it's terrible, offer for Black Friday. Spend $50, get 10% off. Spend $75, get 20% off. Spend $100, get 30% off. Spend $150, get 33.3% off. Spend $200, get a free gift and 40% off. That offer is just, it makes my head hurt to try and work it out as a customer. And remember, as a customer with a customer mindset on, they will have many other emails in their inbox, many other ads on their social media feeds. All of the ads, arguably all of the ads on their social media feed will be other offers about Black Friday sales that are just straight to the point. Black Friday 30% off, Black Friday free shipping, Black Friday 50% off. Like, they'll have many other options to get a bargain without having to work out your specific offer. More complicated is not more interesting and it's not enticing. It's just block it out. There's too much going on, hey? Like too much in the world for us to be consumed with messaging everywhere we look of advertising. We know this as consumers. Just keep that in mind when you're crafting your Black Friday offer as a business owner, to keep your customer hat on and not just look at it from a business owner's point of view, but how a customer will see the offer. Here's some examples of much better offers to do at Black Friday. 40% off everything, or up to whatever percent off everything, or 50% off this collection, or 30% off today only, or free shipping site wide today only. All of those offers make sense immediately. You immediately know what's going on and you can immediately see the benefit, and you can immediately decide if you want to jump in or not jump in. That's what you need your offer to be. So don't overcomplicate it. If that's something you fall into the trap of, I encourage you to recognize that now and then change your offer or think about something much simpler. Not setting realistic expectations for your capacity. I love this point. This is something I wrote down because I'm planning on taking a significant amount of time off in January. It's only the start of October and I'm already feeling the fatigue of this year. And I know I've got a big 3 months ahead of me. It's starting to keep me up at night a little bit. So I'm already thinking about, I need to set an end goal. Like I need a finish line in sight for myself. And so I'm going to take some time off in January, quite a bit of time off. In fact, I may even take as much time off that I might need to put all my products out of stock and sort of put my website on holiday mode of some description. I've never done that before. I don't know what that means with Shopify, but I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look into that as it gets closer, but that's what I'm thinking for myself. What do you need to do for your own energy? What do you need to do to protect your own energy, your own motivation, and your own small business mindset? Like this is hard work, hey, building a small business. I get it, and I'm sure you find it too. What do you need to do in the next several months to make sure that you can get through this period of time well, have great success with Black Friday sales and Christmas, and spend time with family and do all the things you want to do, and then come back refreshed? So, what do you plan to do? I encourage you to think about how you might need to protect your energy. Maybe you need to opt out of Black Friday altogether. Could you do something on New Year's? Could you do a New Year's 2026 sale of some description instead? Or a Boxing Day sale instead for one day, a Boxing Day sale? I encourage you to do something if you haven't done something, because it is your best opportunity to build your revenue, get a heap of new customers through the door and repeat customers, potentially have the best month you have had all year through November or December. That is entirely realistic. And I'm expecting to definitely more than double my revenue from last year. That's my goal. So I have lots to do between now and then. And then off the back of that, I'm going to take some time off. You're looking after the social media, the ads, the emails, the stock, the inventory, the customer service queries. You're doing it all. I get it. New products, photos, all sorts of things, redesigning a product page. Please reach out to me for some support. Number one, like let me help you with either email or ads between now and the end of the year. I have probably 2 spots left for new clients that I can help for a 30-day window between now and the end of the year. I don't know that I've got much more capacity than 2. And then I'm going to take some time off in January. If I'm supporting you already with ads or emails, then I'll still be doing that in January. But my e-commerce store is probably going to take a little bit of a breather. And the next one is track what works. Reuse what you did last year. Go back and look at the graphics you did, the videos, the images, the offer. Roll it out again. If you feel like you haven't got the energy to create something brand new, go back and look at last year. What did you do last year if you were around last year? And pull the same assets, pull the same offer, refresh it and re-roll it out all over again. Remember, something is better than nothing. You need to be in the game across Black Friday to see some wins. And if you're not going to be in the game at all, you can probably expect crickets as far as sales goes, because people are looking for a sale before they want to hand over their money. So instead of doing nothing because you haven't got the energy to rethink it all, don't rethink anything. Just go back to what you did last year and do the same thing again. If you find your sales drop off mid-October, the end of October, lean into it. Don't try and fight it. It's a surefire way to burn yourself out. If people are holding on to their cash anyway, to let it go during a sale, go with it. Tell them not to shop yet. Tell them to wait for the sale and then do an epic sale and give them every reason to shop with you rather than trying to work doubly hard prior to get the same result. That's what I sort of am worried about with Black Friday this year. I don't want to work doubly hard in the week prior to get the same result as a usual week now. I'll be trashed come Black Friday. That doesn't make sense. It's not efficient of energy or time or money or resources. It's not efficient in any way at all. It's more efficient to say, look, everyone, don't shop this week or this fortnight. Don't bother. Wait for my sale. You'll be so glad you waited, and then spend your money when I'm on sale. And the last thing I want to say is I'm going to have an episode coming up where I'm going to give you like the top 4 things to do, like a bit of a checklist. If you have like 3 hours a week between now and Black Friday of what you can be doing to get yourself on the front foot to see some success for you in your business in Black Friday. Probably the best month of sales you've ever had. If you can do these 4 things I'm going to share with you in an upcoming episode, it might be the next episode. I'm pretty sure. I have to look at my episodes I've got written and saved. So this is really episode 147, part 2 of last week, which means next week will be part 3. So there might be 4 parts to this Black Friday planning. Look, there is no reason why at the end of this you guys have not planned your Black Friday offer. There's no reason why you won't listen to 4 episodes and have nothing organized or no motivation or inspiration. Like, let me encourage you, go ahead, get something organized. Be in this together. Like, take part in the success you can have for Black Friday for your own e-commerce store, because people are looking to spend. We've hit it. Q4 has started. People are looking to Christmas shop. In fact, I'm sure some of your customers are really planned out and have already been doing their Christmas shopping months ago, which some of my customers definitely have. But if you're not like that, the majority of us are not like that. We are waiting for the sale and waiting for what comes up now with sales between now and Christmas. If you have got, this is my last thing I'll say before I go, I'm just throwing random things out there. If you have got a week off of work next week and then you're working flat out till Christmas, do a sale next week. Do your sale next week instead. Do it at the end of October. Something is better than nothing. Tell your customers, I'm going early Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale because I want to get in first. Grab your stuff, be organized, get your Christmas shopping sorted, get a bargain now, because you won't see one from me until next year. Be transparent, like do something, not nothing. However that looks for you in your brand, I just encourage you to make the most of this time of year, no matter what you decide to do, but do something. So we all do some of these things, and if you do lots of them, just pick one. Don't feel like you need to go and solve all of these problems. Just pick one, and then reach out to me for some support with your ads or your email in the lead up to Christmas sale shopping period. Let me help you support that in your business and take that off your plate. Thanks for hanging out with me today at Aussie Online Growing on Shopify.com.au. I'll see you guys next time. Keep learning.